Our video lecture on objection handling part 2 addresses how to respond to these objections. When we respond to an objection, first we must listen to the prospect's concern with empathy and our full attention. Let the prospect say everything they want to say and even prompt them to tell you more with questions like, why is that? And what do you think caused this? Etc. Next, we need to make sure we understand the objection, since if we answer the wrong objection, it will agitate the prospect as well as give them an entirely new reason not to buy, since we just brought it to their attention a new problem with our product that they didn't even know existed. Alright, so we must ask more questions to clarify, alright, when they have this objection. And last, we need to assess the nature of the objection. Is this a true objection, or is it a smokescreen objection? To hide things like fear or mistrust, which are the real objections. In addition to listening intently and clarifying the objection with questions, we should also apologize and acknowledge for the objection. However, this should be done without admitting fault by you or your firm. So we should make statements sort of like the following. Wow, I'm really sorry you had to go through this. And I can totally understand why you're upset. I'm going to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Alright, only after we've listened to the objection, clarified the objection, as well as acknowledge and apologize for the objection should we attempt to answer it. The biggest reason for these 4 steps should be taken before answering an objection. Is that when a prospect raises an objection, they're not ready to discuss it. They are usually telling the salesperson to step back, give me space. If the salesperson answers an objection immediately, usually the prospect won't listen, and they might even fight with the salesperson. For example, you should imagine the objection handling process to be like a boxing match. If you tell someone you want to fight, then they'll put up their hands in front of their face to defend themselves. This is analogous to immediately answering a prospect's objection. If you do, then the prospect puts their hands over their ears, just like they put their hands in front of their face to fight. The first 4 steps in this process are designed to encourage the prospect to put their hands down or take them off their ears. Once their hands are down, the prospect is relaxed, and it is time to hit them with your answer for the objection. Perhaps this clip from Total Recall can illustrate this a little bit better.
All right, while you fill out this questionnaire, I'm going to familiarize you with some of our options.
No options.
Whatever you say. Can I ask you just one question, though?
When the salesperson gets the objection, no options, the salesperson takes a step back and replies, okay, whatever you say. Then he pauses, and then he asks his first question. All of this he does before he provides his answer. Please pause your video and now answer the first question for this video lecture, which is, how quickly should you respond to an objection? Once you have provided your solution to the prospect's objections, you must confirm that you have resolved this issue. If you cannot confirm, then the objection is not resolved, and it is time to ask more questions and discuss additional possible solutions. Please pause your video and now answer the second question for this video lecture, which is, what must you do if the prospect does not confirm that you have successfully resolved all issues regarding their objection? Salespeople often hear the same objection over and over and over from different customers, so it's common to get bored when they give you the objection. And it's common to be impatient, or you might even embarrass the customer, since the salesperson often knows the perfect answer for that objection, and that answer will prove the customer is an idiot. However, all these attitudes and behaviors will not lead to a sale, so keep your eye on the prize. The sale is the goal, or the next meeting is the goal, and the salesperson's ego or boredom, etc., must be thrown out the window before the sale has begun. Alright, the 4 most common types of objections are the drawback, indifference, skepticism, and the misunderstanding, all of which still require the objection handling system. However, the answer for each type varies. A drawback means you cannot do what the prospect needs. If this occurs, and it does, then you might not make the sale. The solution for a drawback is to compensate with other benefits for your product or service. Hopefully, these other benefits can compensate for the drawback. An additional solution is to further discuss other prospect needs to see if you can upsell or cross-sell an item that is a better fit for the prospect's needs. The drawback is the most difficult objection to overcome because you really can't do something they want. Indifference means the prospect does not perceive the need for the salesperson's product or service. This often occurs early in the sales call, since the salesperson has not yet been able to assess the prospect's needs and present the corresponding product benefits that fit those needs. If indifference happens late in the sales call, then the salesperson has probably incorrectly identified the prospect's needs, or the indifference is a smokescreen to hide the prospect's true objection. Regardless, the solution is to ask strategically constructed spin questions. The other option is to discuss why the prospect made their last change regarding this type of product. This tactic might remind the prospect why they need to periodically update their product or service. Skepticism means the prospect does not trust the salesperson. This is quite common since we are taught from a young age not to trust salespeople. Therefore, a salesperson should always provide proof of their claims and have them readily available, also known as a proof source. Proof sources come in the form of statistics regarding popularity or third-party performance ratings, etc. The salesperson needs to have credible sources with citations or websites that are bookmarked on their phones or iPads or computers or professionally printed brochures ready to go. It is critical that the proof source is not merely uttered from the salesperson's lips. Third-party confirmation is the key. Please pause your video now and answer the third question in this video lecture, which is, what do you do if a prospect does not believe you? Our last type of objection is the misunderstanding. This merely means the prospect did not understand what the product or service could do for them. This is more common than you might think. Salespeople are usually experts regarding the product they sell, and customers are not. Thus, the salesperson often assumes the customer knows the benefits and they leave them out. In addition, sometimes the customer is misinformed by their peers or a competing salesperson. The misunderstanding is the easiest objection to rectify. The salesperson merely needs to clarify the issues by describing or demonstrating the benefits of the product. However, the salesperson must still use the objection handling process in all situations, or the prospect will probably not be ready to listen and thus not process what the salesperson is about to describe or demonstrate. This concludes our video lecture on Objection Handling Part 2. Thank you for watching.